generation together. Oh, yeah, Remember, the key to success is working hard. For our country, we must have regard. Forget all your differences, let we start to build. And onward to progress we surely will. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production.
Now more than ever before, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production. I want to welcome you to this segment in the Dynamic Hour. And again, I want to encourage the viewers and listeners on Facebook and YouTube to please share the live. Sharing is caring. I want to start off this morning, and may I acknowledge the listeners on Vibes 101.3 FM and 106.3 FM. I want to start off this morning by saying the NDC cares about the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique, and it's not just with words, but with deeds. Because if you speak to a reasonable family and you're having that conversation about, easements, relief, and how the government helped them to ease up the burden. It could be that child going to Tamsisi, or that child going to Nulo, or that child going to secondary school in Form 1, Form 2, or Form 3, or 4 or 5, or that child going to primary school and benefiting from the hot meal program, Tamsisi, the free tuition, secondary school, the free laptops and ebooks. Then you have universal education, right? Everyone getting the opportunity to move on to a secondary school. You have history back in school, Grenadian history. You have a foreign language taught at the primary level. And then you have the back to school vouchers given to students, to their parents, to assist them with purchasing school uniforms, purchasing, school supplies. Then you have the whole free textbook program. Though the NNP watered down that program because they met that program there that the NDC introduced, it's still in existence. And then you have the minimum wage adjustment, where people are getting more money so they can spend more on so many things. Remember, the NNP said that was not feasible, not possible. The bi-monthly salary payments, again, being able to get your money twice per month, your spending power is way better than before. Then you look at the investment in the local farmers. They've received irrigation equipment, plants at concessionary rates, fertilizer at concessionary rates, training, farm labor program is in existence on their farm. So they were given a lot of assistance. They should be selling the local produce cheaper. And I'm looking at all the easements, the cost of living relief measures that are not just temporary, but medium to long term. That is what I'm talking about. They are somewhat more permanent. And it's impacting people positively. You look at police officers, they're getting more money because of the pay and grade. They can spend more, they can do more for their family. Nurses, the $500 more on their salary, they can spend more, they can do more. Doctors, $1,000 more on their salary, they can spend more, they can do more. Increase for public officers across the board. They only recently signed that agreement where they would get 13% increase on their salaries over a 3-year period. They just came from a 3-year period where they received 13% on their salary. So when you look at the full package, it is more than just 6 VAT-free days over a 3-month period. It is more, excuse me, it is more than the measures that the government put in place to lower the cost of electricity. It is far more than that. Yes, you're seeing your electricity bills reduce or gone down, and that's great. That's fantastic. You will benefit tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday from the 2 VAT-free days in August. Then you would benefit from the 2 VAT-free days in September, the 25th and the 26th. You will benefit from the 2 VAT-free days in October, the 30th and the 31st. Bravo, great, fantastic. But I am saying the NDC cares about the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique, and it's not just in words, but in deeds. And you can just chronicle all the things that they have done to ease up the burden of the backs of parents and Grenadians across the board. Even the poor relief assistance, they increased that from $300 to $500. Because there are some people who are getting $500 every month. And not only that, they no longer have to go in the line and hot sun to access that money. They have a card, thanks to the NDC administration teaming up with the Grenada Cooperative Bank. But I am saying all of this to say to you, the opposition, NNP, they're talking. They have all kinds of criticism, all kinds of things to say. The NDC cap gasoline, the price of gasoline and diesel per gallon, because by now it would have been $18 or $19 per gallon. They also cap the 20-pound cylinder. It's not going over $40. It's $40. They cap it at $40. Anytime the price goes over $40, the government absorbs that cost. They have to pay the dealer. They have to pay that company bringing in or supplying the gas here in Grenada. So yes, they cap it, but once it goes over the amount, the government has to pay the difference. And then we know of so many items on the shelves that are 0 rated, no VAT on them. I was looking for that list because I remember I had the list somewhere about, oil, the different types of oil, the different types of peas, butter, a number of things that was on that list. I remember they made them 0 rated, no VAT. And that is something that I think the Ministry of Finance should put out. The list of items that are 0 rated. All right. So I was looking for it, maybe I can try AI. All right. Maybe I can try AI to see list of 0 rated food items, right, in Grenada. Yeah, so there are food items that are 0 rated, right? In Grenada, staple food items and basic groceries are permanently zero to help lower the cost of living for consumers. The policy allows retailers to sell these goods without charging the standard 15% VAT while still recovering taxes on their business expenses. The government expanded this policy to cover 70 essential everyday food items, right? The preliminary categories of zero-rated food items in Grenada includes rice, flour, sugar, milk, cooking oil, canned fish, fresh fish, chicken and turkey parts, fresh vegetable. It's a whole pile, but I wanted the list from the Ministry of Finance itself, the Ministry of Finance, because I think it's important. It's very important to get it from the Ministry of Finance. Because AI, they would just put everything together that's online and give you the sources of them, right? Some of those AI sites. So I wanted the list from the Ministry of Finance itself. And I think that is something that they need to work on. All right, a list showing the people what they have done before. Because this is not just now. This is not something that they're doing now. There are items on the shelves that the government is not collecting any VAT from. So yes, you complain about the high cost of living, but the prices of those goods could have been way higher if the government was collecting VAT on them. So again, I am suggesting that the government publish a list detailing all the items that the government is not collecting VAT from before the VAT-free days. Like today, if you go to the supermarket and purchase something, like the different type of peas or oil and that kind of thing, the government is not collecting VAT on it. So the price you get is the price without VAT. So it is important. There was a list of items that they put out. I was looking for it because I had it. I had that list of those items. I had it somewhere about. And I wanted to share that. Right? Just as the government or the Ministry of Finance put out a list of the places you can go and purchase on the 2 VAT-free days, they should put out a list just reminding Grenadians of the stuff that they can, what that they have been enjoying, right? Stuff that they have been enjoying without VAT added to it. Without VAT added to it. I think that's important. So I want to encourage the government to do that. All right? Please put out a list detailing all the items that are zero rated. So Grenadians would know it is not just the VAT-free days, but when there is no VAT-free day, you're still enjoying a reduced cost on a number of items, a list of items, and thanks to the NDC administration. The NNP, Emlyn Pay, she was calling for that list to be reviewed and for more items to be added onto the list. But if you add more items onto the list, how would the government collect taxes to pay salaries, to pay pension, to fix the roads, to fix the schools, or the hospital, or the clinics, or the playing fields, or to invest in youth development, or in agriculture, or in other words, there is a balancing act that must be in place. You cannot be irresponsible. Yes, you want to get into power, or yes, you want to remain in power, but you still have to be responsible. as a government and as an opposition. The opposition needs to be more responsible. So again, it would have been nice if I had that list before me. Trust me on that one. I had it somewhere in the archive. I looked last night and I just couldn't lay my hands on it because there is a list of those items that are zero rated when it comes to VAT. Government is not collecting VAT on them. I would have really loved to share that with you. And that is the weakness of our government. They do a lot of stuff, and not just this NDC, but the previous NDC too. They do a lot of stuff, a lot of good things, but it's not properly documented and it's not shared. It's not shared the way it's supposed to. All right? Because I should have it. Something like that, a list detailing all the VAT this and the VAT and yeah. Somebody say contact Dwight. I don't have to contact Dwight Sampson. Come on. That is not my responsibility to contact Dwight Sampson for what? No, the Ministry of Finance should put that out there. They should put that out there even during this time. All right? That's not my forte. I don't have to do that. No. The Ministry of Finance should put that list out there. It should be out there all now. All now. So people know that when they go to the supermarket, these items are already zero rated, no VAT on them. So you know for a fact when you go and pick them up, you're going to get it. You're getting it at the same price because it's already cheap or reasonable because there is no VAT on it. That's critical. So a person who is smart could buy that anytime. They could purchase that any day. They don't have to purchase it on the VAT-free days. They can purchase other stuff on the VAT-free days that attracts VAT, that have VAT on it. And that will help the consumers. You see the point? That is important. Because you go in the supermarket and you pick up these items. Well, these items already don't have VAT on it, but you're going to spend that money and buy them, but you could buy it any day when you need it. You could take that money and purchase other stuff with it. That's the point they're trying to send home. That's the point. In fact, 2 points trying to push here. One, the NDC cares about Grenadians, Caracunians, and PT Martinicans because it is not just about the 2 VAT-free days in August or the measures taken to bring down the cost of electricity, but even before that, the government made a number of basic food items, the shopping basket of items, zero rated, no VAT on them. But the government should publish that, should make the public know that tomorrow, when you go to shop in those supermarkets or shops or whatever, mini mart or whatever you want to call them, here are the list. You can purchase those stuff on any day, VAT-free or not. So you could use up your money to buy other stuff. All right? That's what I'm talking about. But the government of Grenada, they care about the people. That is why they have taken steps even before. It's not just now. But you see, the opposition will not acknowledge that. They would not even come and say, hey, a lot of people telling me that my electricity bill is lower. But when the electricity bill was going up, man, they were talking and saying all kinds of stuff. They had all kinds of stuff to say. Well, the cost of electricity is high and you need to take action and you need to do this and you need to do. Well, the NDC took action. And it's going down, down, down. Aren't you happy about that? You should be happy, very happy too. But the NNP will not be happy. You're mad? They vex about the 2 VAT-free days in August. And mind you, we have 6 VAT-free days. 2 in August, 2 in September, 2 in October. But they would not tell you it's 6. No. And it's the only country in the Caribbean where you have 6 VAT-free days in 2026. 6. Grenadians are blessed. You need to be grateful and thankful to this administration. And the VAT-free days apply to nearly everything except luxurious goods and so on, Well, alcohol is not a part of it, cigarette and so on. You can't go and buy a brand new vehicle and expect VAT off it or bring in goods on the port and expect to go and clear it on that day and get it VAT-free and all. No. But if you're building a house, for example, and you have to get lumber is expensive any day, anytime. All right? To get 1 by 10, 1 by 12, 2 by 2, 2 by 6, 2 by 4, rough, or, treated, to get steel, 3/8, 1/2 inch, 5/8, quarter inch. We can go on and on. All right? To get tying wire, to get cement, windows, doors, tiles, and you have all type of tiles these days, paint, chowlan, the whole works. If you're building, it's a good opportunity for you to find money, even if you have to lend from a friend and pay back. It's a good opportunity. But again, you have 3 months. So you don't have to lend. You have 3 months to save, to make up and then purchase the stuff. It's a good opportunity because if you check how much you have to pay for materials, if you check how much you have to pay for materials, you would know, the people who are building as we speak, you would know how much it costs. It's a lot of money. And I could tell you, I could tell you, it costs a lot of money. Cost a lot of money. So this is a good opportunity. People who are repairing their homes, building, nicing up. Christmas is around the corner. And then you have people who have to buy appliances or furniture. Because, it's Christmas time. People tend to change certain things in their home. That's the tradition. All right? It's a good opportunity to buy a fridge. It's a good opportunity to buy a stove. It's a good opportunity to buy a couch or a washing machine or a blender or a microwave oven or, a TV. It's a good opportunity because on a normal day, it costs a ham and a leg. And if you're getting the VAT off it, it's a real good thing for you. Because a bed, for example, may come up to $2,000 something. You might save at $300. You might save at $300 in it, which is good. $300 is a lot of money. Anyhow you look at it. If you could save that because of the VAT-free day or days, and you don't have to rush to get everything on Friday tomorrow or Saturday. If you don't have the money to purchase it these 2 VAT-free days, tomorrow and Saturday, you can do so in September or October. So stretch your hands where your foot or where your feet can reach. Don't go maxing out all your money and spending all because it's VAT-free day and and then you remain broke for the rest of the month. You still have to balance it off. You still have to manage the little that you have. Simple. I am saying it's a good thing, but you have to look at it in a broader context. The NDC administration, they have been focusing on easing the burden of the backs of the Grenadian people for a long time, since they came into power. Since the NDC came into power, they were doing things to ease up the burden on you, to help you to survive and to live a better life, improving your standard of living. That is why they increase the salaries of workers. And I remember vividly the NNP saying that this minimum wage adjustment won't work and that employers going to send people home. You remember that? The NNP, they were saying, if you adjust the minimum wage, the employers going to cut staff and send people home. It can't work and so on. And that is why the NNP, in all the 20-something years in power, not once have they adjusted the minimum wage so that people can get a better salary. Not once. They never did. And that should be a lesson. If the NNP is in power, minimum wage will not be adjusted. Your salary will remain one way. You will not get increases. And that's what it is, based on the track record. Just as increases for public officers, they had to go on the streets and march. They had to protest. They had to demonstrate to get a little increase on their salary. Under the NDC, they don't have to demonstrate. They don't have to protest. Nothing. Easy, like 1, 2, 3. 13% increase on their salary. 13% over a 3-year period. I am saying to all of us, the NDC cares about the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. And it's not just by words, but by deeds. Just imagine being a parent and having 3 children. 1 going to TAMCC or NULO, 1 going to secondary school, 1 in primary school. Just imagine that. Just think about that for a moment. You don't have to be a genius. You don't have to be bright. And the government is giving you free tuition at TAMCC and NULO. So you don't have to find that $810. You don't have to find that. Get your child to NULO, get your child to TAMCC. Maybe you have to buy some jerseys, basic things, but make sure that they go to school. You don't have to hurt your head when the year end to get at $810. Different. My 2 daughters, they are going to a private school. And when school reopens, I have to find $1,700, $1,705 to pay for my 2 daughters. And that's for a term, 3 months, because they go to a private school, right? And then when the next term comes around, I have to find $1,705 again. Plus, they have to go with a doggy bag, as you would say it, with Lysol, this, Lysol wipes, toilet paper, tissue, this, that, all a whole pile of stuff that you have to bring in the school. Toilet paper, tissue, everything, the whole works. You see the point? I'm saying that at the college, right, TAMCC, NULO, that parent doesn't have to pay for tuition. And then you move to the secondary school. Maybe you have that child in Form 1, Form 2 or 3. That parent doesn't have to hurt their head about getting books. because the government provides a laptop, a free laptop. You don't have to pay for it, to your child. And on that laptop, they have the e-books. So the same physical book that they would carry on the bag or in a backpack, it's on a laptop. It's soft copy. Just think about that now. So you don't have to go and spend $600 and $700 and $800, and in some instances $1,000 something, $1,000 something on books. Parents who know it, because the books are the physical books, the hard copy. They're very expensive, particularly the maths and the geography and the English and so on. Some of these books, they're very expensive. So you don't have to go and buy that. It's e-books. They're providing it to them. So that child, you have 3 children, you get to ease up at the TAMCC on ULO level. You don't have to pay that tuition fee. Government paying it for you. At the secondary level, you don't have to buy books because the government provides e-books for the kids, for the students, and a laptop. Right? And then at the primary school level, it's universal education. So they would get the opportunity to go to secondary school, jump high, jump low. They don't have to worry. Just study. And then they have the free hot meal program at the primary school level and secondary school level. So you don't have to hot your head. They will get a hot meal when they go to school to put in their stomach. I'm telling you, this government cares about the people of this country. And this is cost of living relief measures that are permanent. And of course, the NNP, they criticize the free tuition at TAMCC and ULO. They vex, they angry. If NNP is in power, they're removing all of that. They're scrapping all of that. If the NNP gets into power, they're scrapping these 2 programs, the free tuition, the free hot meal, because they were against the free hot meal program at the school level. They would scrap all of these things because they're expressing themselves now, the hatred, the bitterness, the anger over these policies and over these things. So anyhow you look at it, the NDC cares about the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. So if you're a parent with the 3 children, you're smiling. And I would love for a parent to really sit and calculate the amount they're saving, the amount of money. If the government did not put those policies in place and those programs in place, how much they would have spent, the money they would be spending to send that child to TAMCC or ULO, to send that child to secondary school, to send that child to primary school. And then, let's say that parent is a police officer, or a nurse, or a doctor, or a public officer. Generally, they just got increase in their salaries, or a teacher. They just negotiated, successfully so, and got increase on their salaries. And then, the police officers, they got $700 and something more on their salary, thanks to the NDC. During NNP time, they were fighting for that and they never got it. NNP never gave them that. Never, ever. The nurses, the $500 more on their salary. The doctors, $1,000 more on their salary. They never got that on the NNP. No. So all how you look at it, the NDC cares about the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique, and they have demonstrated that time and time again. So it's not just the 6 VAT-free days in August, September, and October, or the measures that they took to lower the cost of electricity, the price that you have to pay on a monthly basis. It's not only that. It's a broader package that you must look at. You must look at it. Look at the amount of things that they have done for farmers. After burial, they gave farmers, some get $9,000, some get $4,500. They still have the farm labor program where people are going in their lands. Well, the NDC revised that to say to the farmer, use the people that you are custom using to clear your lands, and we will pay them. Right? They revised the farm labor program, but it's still there. And it's way better because, plants react certain way to certain people, like it or not. So if there are people on your plot of land who are custom working with you, are custom, doing what they have to do on your plot, the plants will react in a way when it comes to them. But somebody else coming on the land to do the farm labor program and so on, I know people do send them to pick your limes or pick 2 limes, the whole lime tree dying. The whole lime tree or the orange tree or the rosemary or the everything. Once they touch it, pepper, dying, everything dying. There are some people like that. Don't make them touch it. Don't even make them watch it. If they look at it, it's dying. So again, the farm labor program, it's still on and farmers are benefiting. Then you look at farmers who are in animal husbandry, livestock and so on. Look at the programs that the government put in place. Just look at it. Check it out. To get animals back on the farms so that they can reproduce. Where they have the hybrid animals that they brought in to mix with what we have and good quality animals. And then you have the artificial insemination and then we have the hatcheries and so on, local. There's a lot that the government did, right? Free plants. You remember the amount of free plants? Spice replanting program, plants at concessionary rates, fertilizer at concessionary rates. They could rent the machines to plow and so on. They could rent tools. A whole pile of stuff. And I'm saying the local stuff should be a little cheaper. About 3 days ago, a gentleman, not today's Wednesday, Thursday, today's Thursday. So either Monday or Tuesday, 2 or 3 days ago. Those guys in the road, cutting bush. And he uses a weed eater. And he was just showing the price of the plastic. All right, we say it's like fishing line, but it's the plastic that they use to cut the grass on the weed eater. And the guy was saying, well, at one place it's $11.00, and look, this place close by selling it for $17.00. And then they say the place hard, and they're always complaining about the place hard, but them that making the place hard. Because just down the road, you're getting it for $11.00, but you have it for $17.00. And then he made the point. That is why you hear certain people say X, Y, and Z, when it comes to a breadfruit, and a coconut. They have to do nothing. Just harvest the breadfruit tree. All right? They don't have to manure it. They don't have to fertilize it. They don't have to do nothing. Just because when you have breadfruit, you lap and cut. You lap aboy, as they would say. It's all about the place. Right? And it will be a lot. And they would go to town or in the market and sell it for $5, $10, and all kind of price. All right? $8, $6 a one. Coconut. Well, I saw coconut during carnival time. $10, for a coconut water. Coconut water, ordinary coconut water. And they go in and buy it on the farm or by the farmer for $1.50 or $1.25. They're making the thing hard. And mind you, government giving them all kind of support. And those who are selling, short crops and other things, they're getting all kind of support. But they still come in and sell the cabbage for a pound and a crown. They still come in and sell the mangoes for a pound and a crown. Some of them don't even know how the mango end up there. They still come and sell pepper. And these days, well, not these days, since COVID, after COVID, everything is $5. Everything. $5, $5, $5. And you wonder, yeah, $5, $10, $5, $10. But they should make sure the farmers that they give all those help, that you monitor them when they sell the goods and all of these things, and the price they're selling it at, and the people they're selling it for, they too must be monitored. Because the prices for those local stuff supposed to be cheaper. Supposed to be cheaper. And I'm saying, thanks to the NDC, they have been doing a lot for farmers, but it has to be passed on. It has to be passed on. Just as you have people who they go overseas, government give them a scholarship. They go overseas and they sign an agreement that they have to come back and work for a period of time here, giving back. They're not doing it for free, but they have to come back and serve here. Same thing must be done with some of these farmers. Because the prices are ridiculous. I'm telling you. They're making the thing hard. They're making it hard. Some of them, they haven't even planted, they did not even plant the citrus trees, all the fruits and so on. They just reaping harvest, and they want to sell it for pound and krong. Pound and krong, I'm telling you, some of them, they're selling yam. They haven't planted it, But the price, and you ask, how you come up with that price? How you come up with that price? You see some seasoning, right? Some seasoning, sieve, and well, these days they're just selling the sieve alone. Without sieve and thyme and a little celery mix up, and they're just selling that for $5. Everything is $5, $5. Just even the avocado now. Some of them avocado is watery. It's not sticky, watery, and all of them. Some of them bunks up. They can't even ripe properly because they're picking it so young. When you cut it, the seed, the black inside. They're making the place hard. And $5 avocado, $5. Give me a break. Give me a break. Some of the avocado is small like they're making the thing hard. They could simply sell it for $3 or $2.50, and it gone off their hands. Because many of them, they don't even know how the avocado tree end up there. So I'm saying the government is helping a lot of the farmers with all the kind of concessionary this and concessionary that and plants at cheap rates. Fertilizer concessionary rates. Training, a lot of assistance, irrigation, that they're giving them a whole pile of stuff. But when they harvest the crop or the crops, price, yep. So I am saying the NDC cares about the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. That is why it's not just today or tomorrow or the next day. They're doing things to ease up the burden off your backs. So we cannot be ungrateful to the NDC at all. We cannot be ungrateful. All you need to do is just sit down and do the math, do the calculation, and you will realize how much you're saving because of the things that the NDC did, the programs, the policies, the initiatives, and so on. So when Emlyn talking and the NNP talking, I sometimes just laugh because they can't see the bigger picture. They just can't see it. Or they just downright wicked, nasty, and dirty with themselves. They don't care. All they want is power. But if you're honest, if you're sincere, if you're genuine, you would admit it. The many actions of the NDC cause a lot of things to be cheaper, cause a lot of burden to be lifted from the backs of parents and people in this country. We have to be real. You go and speak to the security officer. They're working for $4 an hour under NNP, under the new nasty party. They were working for $4 an hour. NDC came in power. NDC came in power. The nice Democratic Congress came in power. And they brought it to $9.25 per hour. $9.25 per hour, you know. You go and speak to the laborer or the bus conductor or the gardener or the cleaner or the geriatric caregiver or the clerk or the office attendant or the cooks and these people. Go and speak to them. Even the money trainees, go and speak to them. Thanks to the minimum wage adjustment, the money went up by $300 and $400 and that kind of thing. $500 because some of them was getting $700 a day. And they're now getting $1,200 or $1,400. I'm sorry, $1,200 a month. They're now getting $1,400 and $1,500 a month. You go and speak to them. That's what you have to do. Go and speak to them. So the NDC, they have been at it. That is why they capped the price of a gallon of gas, a gallon of diesel, because they care. The NDC cares about the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. They cap it at $17 because they know that the price is going up and up because of the war in the Middle East. And the Strait of Hormuz, you know, more or less shut down, blockade, and that kind of thing. So ships are not able to freely pass through and with the gas and oil and all of the different things. I am saying, again, the NDC cares about the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. And I challenge anybody out there. Anybody. Let us have a debate on it. So it's not just the VAT-free days that they implemented or the actions they took to bring down the cost of electricity, because we are now enjoying the low rates. In fact, I looked at my app and I told you so, I think, twice or three times on the program. I'm so excited because my bills, the one in Grand Etang, dropped from what it was to, you know, in other words, $200 and something less. A reduction of $200 and something. Same thing with the bill here at home. Because for Grand Etang, I used to pay $1,000 something sometimes. Right? Here, $700 and something, $800 and something. But I'm saying that it dropped significantly. $200 and something difference, which is great. And other people could say the same thing with their bills. Thanks to the NDC and the actions that they have taken to lower the cost of the electricity bill or the cost of electricity. The NDC cares about the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique, not just in words, but in deeds. We are seeing it. They never stop working for the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. They're at it every single day, every single hour, every single minute, every single second. They're working for the people. Folks, don't forget the Honorable Philip Telesford. He has a series of meetings in his constituency. And, well, in fact, he handed a house over to a gentleman yesterday.
So on behalf of the Parliamentary Office for St. George Southeast and the Government of Grenada, we are happy to hand these keys to you, to your new home. We want to wish you all the best, all of God's blessings. Do enjoy your home. Live well. Enjoy it. Be safe. Make sure that you turn off all electrical appliances and don't allow any fire to destroy your home. So pay attention to those things, all right? God bless you, my dear brother.
Thank
One
you.
love.
God bless you.
Anything you want to say to us now?
Well, I want to say praise and thanks to the Minister for representing, you know. For you did a good thing. You did a good work for me because I came early and I asked you and you did work on me.
Yes.
So I appreciate that. And as long as you're in politics, you're showing my vote.
Yes.
I'm showing that.
Remember, I made a promise to you that I will take care of you.
Yes, you did say that.
And look at it happening.
It happened.
You see?
And it happened quick.
Promise made,
Fulfilled.
promise fulfilled. Just like that.
Thank you very much.
King's
Yeah, so big up your whole self there, Philip Telesford, the Honorable Philip Telesford. So they have a meeting in Kobotong Sunday. Sunday, they have a meeting in Kobotong. All right, at Sunday. Right. What's the time? What time it starts? Let me get the time. maybe that's something. Hey, Macphil, you could tell me what time the meeting starts. All right. So maybe you could send me the time, because you see, when you send out information, we need to know the time the meeting starts. All right. So the date, the location of the meeting, the date, and the time. So the first meeting will be Sunday at Kubutong. I want to assume it's a Sunday. It will be maybe between 5 o'clock, 5:36 or so, but send me the time when that meeting will start. All right. Thank you very much, dear Carol and Twine. Carol sent me a list of the VAT exempted items. So items that the government, even before the VAT-free days, remove VAT from. Thank you, Carol and Twine. Soya chunks, there is no VAT on that. So if you go to the supermarket and you purchase that, it's the same price, because they have not been collecting VAT on that. Veggie pates, olive oil, canola oil, soybean oil, flour oil, because I remember at the time oil was very expensive, but now it's gone down. Coconut oil, kidney beans, black eye beans, lentil peas, hand sanitizers, adult Pampers, baby Pampers, toothpaste, mouthwash, toilet paper, and inputs for local manufacturing, the local manufacturing of toilet paper, liquid soap, bath gel and hand soap, laundry soap, that's bars, liquid and powder, all female sanitary hygiene products, including sanitary napkins, tampons, and liners, condoms, and also condoms, right? So these items, they are VAT exempted. They do not attract VAT. And that's long before the VAT-free days. And there was another list before that the NDC had in place. So it's not just this 20 or 30 items. It is more than that, because they added these to the list. They added this to the list. All right. So again, just saying they added that to the list, which is really good. Very, very, very good. So thank you there, Carol and Twine. I know I have some geniuses out there. All right. So someone said, Jude Felix is saying, hey, it's 6:30. The meeting by Neil Rock's shop. All right. So that's Jude there telling me that. So Macphil, maybe you could, you send information. So you send date, you send location, and you send time. Because even if you say it's Kubutong, you need to say exactly where in Kubutong it will be. All right, that's important, very important, so that people would know that's where I'm going to the meeting in Kubutong and the time it starts. And then I'll tell you about the other meeting next time, because, it's about 4 meetings. Kubutong, there's another one in, let me get here. So they have, right? So they have Kubutong, they have Petersfield, Springs, and Marion. So that's 4 meetings, public meetings that they have. So again, Macphil, I know you normally listen to the program, so it's important that you send me the time for all the meetings and send me the dates, right? The exact dates and the location in that community. So Rondell James, he's saying milk, flour, rice, and certain meat products. Yeah, I remember. So they have there was a list before. There was a list before, right? Good. All right. And exact, let me get that. Exact location. Right. So yeah, so there was a list before. Hey, Kem, the first meeting on Sunday in Kubutong is by Rocky Shop. All right, so somebody saying the first meeting that the Honorable Philip Tellisford is having on Sunday It is by Rocky Shop, not Rock Shop. So Rocky Shop has the right name there. All right. Good. So it's by Rocky Shop. And someone is saying it's 6:30. But again, we want the exact thing. All right. Because the Honorable Philip Telliswad is doing a fantastic job in the Ministry of Health and in his constituency. All right. He's doing a fantastic job there. There's a number of meetings in the different constituencies. All right. Go there and support and be a part of that. Be a part of that. Good. So, folks, I want to wish you all the very best. I will be back with you tonight in the hub, again, starting from 8 in the p.m. to continue the mission, to provide you with information, to engage in a meaningful discourse so that we all can learn in the process. All right?